And we are live. Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Entrepreneurs. Today, we're going to be talking about digital marketing, right? Digital marketing to grow your brand, your reach, and your revenue. Forbes magazine and many other syndicates out there are saying that in 2024, digital marketing is the fastest growing industry. So we're going to be talking about that, the good and the bad today, and we'll see you on the inside.
Digital marketing. It
We are
is
back.
going to be like 2024's biggest thing ever. Courses,
Yeah.
ebooks. I mean, the list is going on. Let's see, courses, ebooks, content, business, online courses, digital textures, wallpapers, stock photography, digital media, email templates, spreadsheets. The
Woo.
list goes
The
on.
list goes on and on. And you know what's really driving that? I mean, there's a lot of different things, right? But technology, immersing technology is a huge thing right now where companies are starting to put money back into technology. For a while, right? We saw it kind of fall off the edge for a little while there, but it's coming back real strong. And then one of the biggest driving factors is AI. Everyone is dumping in money. I mean, even industries I never thought could integrate AI are taking a hard look at how they can actually do that. So we're going to kind of break down a few things today. We'll talk about some things that we're doing, things that we're involved in, that we're seeing in our industry. And then we'll also give you the down and dirty, kind of just the bad side of this, right? Experiences that we've had. We were talking about technical issues that we've been experiencing just before coming on live here. And I think it's going to get worse before it gets better, but it is definitely an industry that we should all be embracing.
Let me tell you, Facebook, I don't know what's going on with Facebook, but the last 2 days, they've been taking down everything of mine. Like, I literally just posted a story about this, no links. I mean, I'm fully covered. Well, maybe just a little bit uncovered. But they're like, it's offensive. And I'm like, what? What's offensive about it?
That happened to me a few months back. I used to use MemberVault. By the way, I now use She Has Clients, a white label version of Go High Level.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to use MemberVault. And so in my paid communities, I would drop like links to specific lessons for the students to watch or the clients who had questions on certain topics. And they just kept flagging those MemberVault links. And after that, I noticed the same thing as you, Tina. Then they started flagging like, whenever I would do live launches, because I used to do a lot of live launches for low ticket programs and my high ticket, I would kind of mix it up and they would flag images that had no inappropriate content or anything like that. So I noticed that once they flag you, it kind of tends to go on. So then you might want to calm down for a couple of weeks in posting.
Yeah. And you know, what's interesting is
like, I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, we're just launching Be a Glow Sticker on volume 2. So I was trying to like post all of my things, like congratulations, Starr Khan, and I'm like, do I not post anything? Like, do I go silent? Do I go ghost?
Even pixelating, right? So it isn't just verbiage per se. There, as you just said, Starr, once you're kind of on that naughty list, right? They flag the photo that's in there or whatever it may be that you're promoting. I have a few speaking events coming up real soon. And just that in itself, right? We're not selling anything, and they're actually advertised as free events, right? These are free events for the public to come to. And Facebook, quite frankly, anytime you're trying to take content away from their platform, they're just striking you down. Yeah. And unfortunately, most of that is driven by AI, right? Yeah. And you're not even having the ability. I've challenged all kinds of things.
Well, that's what Starr was telling me. She goes, make sure you dispute every single one. So I'm like, dispute. But then that's taking like all your time and energy too.
So you want to try to keep your reputation, so you kind of have to dispute them.
And I've never been in Facebook jail. I've never had any, things. In the last 2 days, I've probably had at least 20. And okay, so you guys are watching. We are missing somebody.
We
So
are.
Christina Whiteley, she just had a baby 2 weeks ago, so we're gonna give her some grace too. Actually, I think it was 3 weeks.
Some people that may not know that, right? That
3 weeks ago today, Cheryl. Is it 3 weeks today? Oh, look, Cheryl's here with the
okay. Okay, she's representing and she's
because of the baby. So today is baby or not baby. She's a big girl. Isabella's birthday today. So little Izzy is not a little girl anymore. So Christina may or may not have a cameo with little baby Isaac today, but today's her birthday. And so Christina is doing the mommy thing and bringing cupcakes and all that stuff to school for today. So it was right in the same time. So it's hard. It's hard being a wife, a mom, and an entrepreneur at the same time, right? Which is why digital marketing is so good, because you can do it one time and still get all that residual income coming in as you build the course. You can sell the course, it's evergreen. You can create a template and it's evergreen. You can sell it on Etsy. So there's so many things that you can do digital products, right? So let us know what you guys are creating. Starr, I know for a fact that you are like the digital marketing queen. So tell us a little bit about what you are working on and what you have created that is bringing in some income.
Definitely. So I hear a little bit of an echo or something. We're talking on technology before the call. So hopefully
I'm turning 50 this year, and in the last 2 weeks, we get real raw and unplugged here on Uncensored Entrepreneur. And I am experiencing hot flashes like there is no tomorrow. And so I have a fan directly on me. Poor Tony. He's like, it's freezing in here. I have the window open, the fan's on, and I'm like taking the covers off. And he's like,
well, remember, I told you guys that I'm like freezing my family out that day. Robert was like, Starr said there's a dog barking in the background because I had to turn the AC down. But yeah, I'm right there with you.
Oh my gosh, it is, Robert. I'm so sorry, but it is.
That's all right. I'm just. This is one of those moments, by the way, for people tuning in, that I just become an expert listener. That's it, right? I just sit here and I listen, and I'm here for support.
And then I told Tony this morning. I said, "Do you know that all the women's problems start with men? Menopause, menstruate." Mental breakdown.
That's good. That's true.
So
Starr, what are you working on? I know we're
all right. Sorry, Robert.
trying to eliminate hot for all of us women.
So speaking of digital marketing, you guys know that I've always been talking about passive income, also adding to your monthly recurring revenue. And that has been a big focus for me, especially last year when my back went down. I wasn't able to do the live launches on the level that I had previously been doing them. So I'm currently focused on selling an MRR product, which is another digital marketing product that you can sell.
Okay,
and
so
that's
tell everybody what MRR stands for, because a lot of people did not know when I was promoting it.
Yes. So whenever I talk about MRR on the show, I'm typically talking about monthly recurring revenue, but there's also another MRR model, which stands for master resell, right? So that means that I can legally buy a product and then turn around and resell that product for 100% profit. So it's different than affiliate marketing. So that's what I'm currently doing. So I was able to do really well just last weekend. I bought that product 2 weeks ago, brought it to market, was able to sell it, quick cash infusion for the business. And it's really, really good for those who want to add an additional stream of income for their business. As coaches, for me, I would always create really attractive offers and bring them to market. And now I've kind of been in a little zone where it's like, okay, I'm kind of burned out on like that creation mode. I just want to break. So I was like, oh, this is great because I can still bring something new to the market. And a lot of women went crazy about it. They're like, Starr, this is exactly what we've been looking for.
Wow. And you know what? Here's, this kind of comes back to some of the things we've talked about before. It's really understanding and tapping into your audience, right? Knowing who your avatar is. Oh my gosh, Tina, the fan is too much for today's show. I'm sorry.
Here.
I'm trying to be professional here, Tina, and you're just killing me over there. Okay. Anyways, let me go back to this. But no, it's really understanding who your audience is. And I know that you've tapped into that really well, Starr. The other thing is I'm a huge advocate of JV partnerships
Yes.
and affiliate products just in themselves. There's people out there that make multiple six figures, even seven figures, not even selling or creating their own products, but just promoting other people's products. And so I love that. Obviously, each one of us,
no
we do the same.
creation mode in place for that. You don't have to do nothing except for use your audience to promote somebody else's product. And most of the time, especially with affiliate marketing and with MRR kind of stuff, they kind of give you the emails to send out, the graphics
Exactly.
to send out, all the stuff to use. So you don't have to come up with the graphics. You don't have to create the course. You don't have to do anything. It's just you just infuse that into your audience. And I mean, multiple six figures. And there's such a big, huge need right now. I mean, on Etsy, just alone on Etsy, calendars and lists and courses and templates galore. I mean, Mother's Day is coming up. You can print out Mother's Day cards. And I mean, there's so many different kinds of things that you can look for. And so I think digital marketing is going to be a huge shift in the market in 2024.
Yeah, definitely. And
Precious.
Precious.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Hi, Precious.
Hello, Precious.
If you guys don't mind, I want to drop a plug for Precious. So there's
Yes.
Precious is with the owns Precious Kids Foundation. It's an
Yes.
organization, and she has an event taking place in San Diego next month. And so we are going to be doing a fundraiser so that we can continue the efforts in raising, awareness around the children in Uganda who need help and medical care and attention. So she actually goes to Uganda. She brings a team from America who are medical professionals, nurses and doctors, as well as, people who help, she has a team in Uganda as well that helps. So we're really working on that. And Facebook flagged our link. So we were not able to promote for 2 weeks. So we're like a little bit 2 weeks behind on the promo level that we want to be on for that. So do make sure that you send a friend request to Precious or myself. And if you guys want to attend this fundraising event, it's going to be beautiful in San Diego.
I wish I could be there. It'd be amazing.
And if not, you can also donate. So
yeah, so other than and I can put the Precious Kids Foundation link in there, but do you have a direct link that you'd like to put in there right now, Starr?
I'm going to have to grab it. And that's only because we had to switch. That's what I was saying. Facebook flagged our link. Same thing that happened to Tina. So that kind of goes in hand with our conversation. So, but I will drop it in the chat after this particular conversation. But I did want to kind of share that with you guys. So yeah, thank you so much, Precious. And yeah, so Precious has gotten into the digital marketing space. We've already been in the digital marketing space. We all are. But
we're just taking a harder look. And that's why we thought it'd be a good opportunity to talk about this. Most of us have already been in that space, right? 3, 4, 5, 6 years, maybe even longer. But the thing is like 2024, again, I talk about AI. Everything is so driven now that even those that were never really taking a hard look, those that were actually scared and fearful to actually get into social media advertising, they're all doing it now, right? All kinds of businesses that I never thought, even old clients of mine that were completely resistant to social media are starting to dabble, right? Starting to take these next steps because of the AI movement and the cost, quite frankly, right? Traditional marketing, and that kind of comes back into some of my old space. We used to call it the trifecta. You had a billboard, you had a radio advertisement, you were on TV,
you have a newspaper, you have a billboard.
Right. So, you have the trifecta.
Hope people see.
Yeah. And it's extremely expensive, right? To go with some of these traditional methods. And so when we talk about digital marketing, we're talking about a lot of things. We're talking about cost, ease of use. Today, most of your tribe or your target market can be found on social media. And the other thing is that it's duplicatable. So let's talk about that for a moment. I mean, that's my big thing right now is, when we were kind of driven into this mode of everyone sitting behind the computer screen. I was doing a lot more one-on-one coaching online. And then I realized that takes up a lot of time too, right? To effectively do that, you're limited. You have a ceiling to how many clients you can serve. Yeah. And so by creating these digital products, or I call them digital assets. I'll kind of touch base a little bit more on digital assets later, but by touching base on that, by putting your content and your value into a package, whether it's a course, a product, a newsletter, a magazine, a digital magazine, whatever it may be, this podcast even, you have the ability to reach a broader audience and deliver that content to those that necessarily aren't ready today, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I kind of got distracted talking about San Diego and all of that, but I wanted to tap into the affiliate marketing piece that you had talked about, Robert.
Yes.
So when it comes to affiliate marketing, what I love about affiliate marketing is you can actually create an affiliate promo or campaign for your own products so that other people can promote your products. So now you're bringing in additional income to the business and you pay them a percentage. Additionally, you can become an affiliate for other companies' products and services, and then you get a percentage of the sales of those products that are sold. So I actually bring in affiliate income from both angles into my business.
Yeah,
Yes,
I do the same
absolutely.
thing. I just launched it wasn't my first course, but my first course on how to write a book. Just launched that, Aspiring Authors Academy. And I created an affiliate link so they get 40% off of that. So people are like signing up for that left and right just to be able to promote it, to add that additional income stream. So why not? You're walking down the street with your water bottle and your cute shirt and whatever, and you're like, oh my God, that's such a cute shirt. You're like, where'd you get it? Oh, I got it at Walmart. So they go to Walmart and get it, but you don't get no affiliate commission with it.
Yeah,
This way it is.
absolutely. No, that's exactly what it is. And we're starting to see that more and more. By the way, I do want to bring this up, right? So I wasn't even planning to talk about this, but when we talk about the ease of use, reaching a broader audience, affiliates is a huge thing. And you were talking about products too, Starr. So by the way, this will resonate with you. So Kelly, she's always been known for people that, are close to us, that she wears like almost no makeup. I mean, almost she wears no makeup. On very rare occasions, she will, right? For certain events or whatever. So she just kind of goes with this natural beauty look, which is close to my heart. But I will say this, that she did a little thing the other day, a little technique with her eyelashes, but it was real. So I won't get into the details of all that. I'm not an expert in eyelashes.
We want to know, Robert.
No, you have to talk to her. You have to talk to her.
She did.
So she goes, you'll see her post out there. So she goes into work and everyone was immediately like, what did you do? What did you have done, etc. And it was just a technique. It wasn't an actual product.
Okay, well, Robert, you got to tell us this technique.
Oh, I'm not going to talk. No, we're not going to talk about it. But
I saw her picture and her lashes were looking really nice. I did see that photo.
But I will say this, though. She had over 20 people in that day, just like immediately say, what did you do? I want in. And so that's the power of, when I say digital marketing, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're thinking about physical products, but the ability to tie it into an affiliate type program. So the minute that she talked about that, she was like, she started telling a few people about it. And I said, did you actually see if there's an affiliate tied into this? So she looks it up, and almost every business, every mainstream business is looking for people that can promote right online. And so by doing that, she saw that that she had the ability to do so. Yeah. And so it's those little things that, it's what you said, Tina, it's what we wear, it's what we promote, it's the things that we do each and every day that we really should take a hard look at in 2024 and going forward, and saying that if I'm already invested and promoted in this, do I have the ability to promote this product and maybe earn a little extra income in my household?
Sure.
Yeah, and the other thing we also talk about on this program is you branding yourself, and Robert goes really deep into the branding way more than I do. But basically, you are your brand. And what that means is that you can come into the online space and be selling a specific product, offering a specific service, be known as an industry leader for XYZ. And 2 years later, you may have to pivot for whatever reason. People are still going to follow you because they love you and they want to work with you on the latest trends that are happening.
Absolutely. Most people think what makes their business, what makes the opportunity is 100% the product. And I'm not saying that there isn't excellent products in every industry. There are. It's the things that we're constantly looking at each and every day. But you really do have to build tying this back into the digital marketing side, you have to build your own personal brand. And thanks, Starr, for using my coin phrase that I've been using for the last 8 years. You are the brand, right? The brand is you. And really, because it's the one thing that cannot be taken away from you. We see businesses open and close each and every day, especially in the network marketing industry, because of just huge turnover, regulations, all types of things.
Have started a business years ago. I mean, mine was all about gratitude and follow up and customer care and customer service and customer attraction. And now I'm more into the digital products, the digital courses, writing your book, having assets like that. So it was easy for me to transition. But if you all about this one company, that company goes down and you're like, oh, now I don't know what to do. That's why that brand is so important.
Absolutely.
But also having a multitude of, just like you have in your portfolio, you have a rental house here, you have a house here, you have, vacation house here, you have all these different things, all these different investments, a Roth IRA, a retirement fund. You still need to do that in your business by having all these other additional income streams, having the royalties and the monthly memberships and the passive income and the affiliate marketing income, all this money that you can bring in by just putting your foot into a couple of different little things there. And then you'll be the connection person. You have your clients there, you're like, oh, I want to write a book. Oh, I have a person, here's her link, my personal link that goes directly to me where I could get a little commission off of it. But here's Tina Torres's link. Oh, you want somebody to do this? Oh, here's Robert's stuff. Here's his stuff. You can, get a magazine created. You need, what is it? She has clients, when you want to go high level, here's my personal link. Starr can help you with that. But you also have that little piece coming back to you every single time just by creating that.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, for those that are listening live, that are tuning in, and even those that later on catch the replay, I mean, drop some information in the comments if you have the ability. I know we can't see everything out there because we're across a lot of different platforms, but if there are things that you're currently doing or creating in the digital marketing space, we'd love you to be able to do that so that we can, one, talk about that a little bit further. And if it's something that we've never heard of, we're always researching and looking for, other ways of extending and growing your brand. I want to kind of
podcast. Having a podcast is another
huge
asset that you need to, having a book, having a podcast, having a course. All those things are things that every coach, every business should have some sort of thing.
Absolutely. The beautiful thing about showcasing yourself. So think about it in this context. How many times, and I'm probably going to be speaking to women more than men, but I mean, it does apply to everyone in the audience. But how often are you out somewhere and someone's like, oh my gosh, those shoes are like fire. Like, where did you get those shoes? Or as you said, like Starr, where'd you get that hair? Where did you get this? What did, your makeup?
Well, the hair is mine.
Right. All of these things. So we so often live in this kind of, consumer world that people really are drawn into the things that appeal to them. That's why we talk about really building your brand with your target market, people that actually are looking for some of the same interests and things that you're involved in. And so by doing that, how often have you said, oh, I did this, or go see this person down the road, or I, go to this link and this is where I'm shopping online. Some of us do it that way, just because they just want to do it, right? And now you're building that person's brand without any type of reciprocal
Right.
commission. And then the other person are the ones that don't tell you where they got it because they're like, oh, I'm going to covet this, or like, this is my deal and I'm not going to tell anyone else about it. You really should look
into it. At Starr.
No, that just reminded me. I had a couple of customers who have actually told me that they don't tell anyone where they get their hair extensions from. They want it to be their secret. And I'm like, why are you not spreading the news? But it's weird to me. But yeah,
you ain't getting the same stuff I have. Sorry.
But isn't that beautiful that we work in an industry and just this social media experience, this digital era, if you will, where we have the ability to say to our friends and our family and our clients and everyone else that's involved that, you know what? Yeah, please do share it. And thank you for sharing that. Did you know that you can receive commission, or I can compensate you in some way for doing that? Referral markets have been around since the beginning of time in sales, right? Yeah. Referrals have always been the strongest market, but actually being able to connect and link those referrals in a quick manner really didn't start happening until 10, 15 years ago, when the digital marketing era really exploded. And now with technology, we have so many ways of doing that, and so many quick ways, right? I know people, I mean, some things are different in industries, but I know some industries are tied in right now, Starr. I don't know how yours is, but you can almost receive instantaneous commission
Yeah.
based on your referrals. And that's huge.
And we just had a major outage with Facebook and Instagram this week where everybody went crazy. I don't know about you, but I was like, oh my gosh, somebody's trying to hack my stuff. And then I was like, oh, maybe Instagram and Facebook is down. So, one of the things that you want to make sure you definitely do, and we're not talking about email marketing today, but one of the things that you need to definitely do is you don't own Facebook, you don't own Instagram, you don't own YouTube, you don't own any of these social media platforms. You don't even own StreamYard. Like, they can take this off, done. But what you do own is your email list.
And did you know that there are so many coaches who are like, let's say that they've been in the business for a while now, they're downing people who are saying, oh, we're so tired of seeing the emails and the post about growing your email list because of the Facebook outage. But I can't tell you how many clients have enrolled into my programs that do not have an email list.
Yeah, that's absolutely. So again, we all talk about books, right? We like to promote books on the show. I have one coming out very soon, and it's all based on 7-figure relationships. And it's not just the monetary side. It's about building true, relationships over a long, the longevity of a lifetime. And I think back to the very beginning stages of my days in business, and most of that was from relationships. I even talk about the fact that some of my clients, some of my best clients over time, were the ones that spent the least amount of money, but they really were huge advocates. They championed what I had done for them. And so they promoted my product in a huge way. So, although they may have only spent like $500, they, over a lifetime have promoted $50,000 plus in my products and services. And those are the type of things that we need to do, right? In this digital marketing era, we should be capturing that. We should be noting these things. We should be giving, honor and respect and gratitude to those people. And the best way to do that, Starr, is exactly what you just stated. We taught, a CRM. Some people don't know what a CRM is, but it's the ability to actually take these relationships to put them into some type of a package so that you can continuously update them on your products and services.
Oh. Yeah. So CRM, customer relationship management tool. That is what CRM stands for. And that is just another reason. Just like, we were talking about marketing earlier, how people go down to see their name on the billboard. They see their name in this. They see this in the newspaper. They see that. You want to have it everywhere. You want to have it in your email. You want to have it going through Facebook. You want to have it going through Instagram. You want to have a video out there. So no matter where they're seeing it at, they see your name. Even if it's just your name coming across the top of their screen and they're deleting it, they still see your name and they hit, oh, Tina Torres, oh, Tina Torres, oh, Tina Torres. And then they see
it's that trifecta, right?
This has been taken down because of some uninclusive ad.
It is the trifecta. And again, like when I talk about old organic type marketing, it's the billboard effect. I still talk about that today. That's what your email is. That's what these videos, your podcast is. Building any type of a brand online, even something as simple as sharing a portion of your life, your children, your vacations, things that interest you, your travel, all these things feed into a community of people, like-minded people that will actually be attracted to that. And when it comes to constantly seeing these things, right? A billboard, most people don't see the exact return off of a billboard. But what they don't understand is that if I just heard an ad on the radio station as I'm driving down the highway and I happen to look up and it says, Hawk Law or whatever, people will be laughing here in South Carolina around that. But anyways, but if you see that advertisement, then you immediately resonate with it. And the next time you need someone, you're thinking, I need to call this person. Yeah. So anyways, that's exactly how it works in the digital marketing world. The other thing that I want to throw out there to everyone and kind of get some expansion around that, I mentioned the word digital asset earlier. And the reason why I started changing a lot of my own and my clients' products from courses and ebooks and all these other things, I classified it all as a digital asset, because if you create it the right way and you own the rights to that, the process, then it lives forever. It lives online forever. I have actually marketing pieces, and I just want to share this little story that I have a marketing piece that I created 9 years ago when I was just kind of getting, from traditional business into the marketing world. I forgot all about this ebook, and someone actually came across it just a few months ago and reached out to me and said, "Hey, I saw this," and I thought, "Oh my gosh, how did you see that? That hasn't existed in years, but it still lives out there," right? So that piece of content, in my eyes, becomes a digital asset. So another strong component of why digital marketing is so key. Have you guys seen that or experienced that as well?
Yeah, definitely.
We were both like,
we I mean, I'm newer to the online space than Tina and Robert are. I've been more so in the offline space for the past about 13 years now. So, but yeah, a few years ago, I have created digital assets. And yes, I still do have people who come to my email list from those freebies and those resources and all of that. And another thing I wanted to tap into with the digital marketing space is we have had 2 guests on our show regarding Facebook ads, actually. So definitely go back and check out those episodes. But I was able to grow an email list to 1,000 subscribers in 2 months with minimal investments, running Facebook ads to a freebie using their newer lead form of advertisement, where you can run an ad on Facebook and it just asks them to tap the screen to put in their email address, their phone number, or their name, whatever it is that you want to collect. And those ads are really low cost for you to develop to grow your email list. For those of you guys who are like maybe stuck in the organic space and don't know what to do, that's a really easy way for you to do it.
So when she was talking about it, that my clients and friends, Zuck My Life, I was showing you step by step in this book.
I just love the title so much because it really resonates. Yeah. So
My Life, and he tells you exactly how to create your Facebook ads, so you can create those. I love his titles of it. I don't know if you guys actually got the book or not, but it was like, why did I write this zucking book? And it's not personal, it's strictly business.
yes.
And
yes.
you just gotta use every asset that you have, every avenue that you have to get your stuff out there, and just do it authentically. Do it, be genuine, be authentic. But with that email marketing, like earlier this week when Facebook and IG went down, what else are you gonna promote anything? Like when Facebook has taken down your links, how else are you going to promote anything? It has to be done through email marketing.
By the way, I don't want to get hung up on that because the world was impacted, and I love all the memes that are out there. I actually
the outage of Facebook.
Yeah, I didn't even know about it. I was in the middle of a client call, back to back. I had a podcast that I was on, and then also a client call, and so there was 2 hours, a 2-hour period. I didn't realize it was happening, but my phone was blowing up. I had clients, I had friends, I had family saying, "I think I've been hacked. Can you take a look? Can you get into my site? Is there anything?" It was like the world was ending.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
but
that is also why
this is where you guys are watching us on social media.
Yeah,
this is where you probably know us from, is on social media. So,
exactly.
I can see that the world will be ending if you do not see Uncensored Entrepreneurs or any one of us. But
that's why I also say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. We talk about that in both products, services, and then obviously delivery systems such as social media, making sure that you're seen on all channels, because you never know when one will completely be taken over or sold,
or the moon or something is in, because 2 weeks ago Verizon and AT&T went out for like 6 hours.
Yeah, there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening there. Or even channels that go completely down. I mean, that's a thing that we forget. There's been some major channels over the years that people have basically put millions and millions of dollars into of their time, resources.
I remember was what, MySpace.
MySpace. It still exists somehow. But yeah.
Oh God, I think I need to make sure that my MySpace account is not up and active.
Yeah,
that was like in my 20s.
Yep.
We have a comment coming in about this too.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
exactly. We were just talking about that even before the show and at the beginning, that we've put a lot of different advertising, all of us have, and our links have been blocked or we've had things kicked back. And that's really that moment of like kind of AI, we're moving away from a customer support system where it's an individual that can hear your case and actually see it through. In many cases, if they feel like at any moment you're damaging their brand of creating revenue from you, then they seem to just shut it down with certain keywords.
I was on something the other day and it was in a little chat and it said, does this help? And I'm like, no. And so they asked me another question. Does this help? I'm like, no. Customer service. I'm sorry, we can't answer your question. I'm like, human.
Yeah, that comes up a lot.
Oh.
And also, Robert, speaking of the digital assets, one of the things that I will be focusing on this year, and also I've already been talking to it with some of my clients, is we talked about Facebook, Instagram, all of those places, is more of creating content and putting them in more evergreen places. So for example, a lot of people don't like to focus on YouTube because we don't get that instant satisfaction. But when you have people coming from your YouTube video you created 3 years ago and they're opting into something or sending you a message to buy something, that is very critical that you have those pieces of content out there. So some of them would be YouTube, creating a blog, actually using Pinterest. I have old pins that are still working for me that are directing people to my website.
Somebody said that Pinterest has the longest amount of arrival time, like a 4 months. Which as IG is 24 hours. And I do see that we have a special guest joining us.
I know, for just a moment, we're going to come right back to this. We're going to come right back to this advertising piece. But we have a very special announcement. Someone that hasn't been with us in a few weeks.
We got to put the Lion King commercial on.
Okay, here we go.
Hello.
Hello.
I know nobody cares about seeing me. Oh, and there's Larry.
Oh, wait, Christina's there too. Okay, I see Christina.
Larry's like, wait, me.
So this is our fifth host that most people haven't seen over the last 9 months.
He's been a big part of our show over the last 9 months.
Yeah.
But he knows our voices. He's been with us every week.
He does know your voices.
It's like Uncle Robert and Starr, right?
Here, look, I'll take him out of here. He might get a little squawky, but we'll try, okay?
I love it.
Say hi.
I love it. Oh.
And then where is Izzy?
Oh, handsome.
It's her birthday today.
It is her birthday. Happy birthday to Izzy. Yeah.
So we just came from her school where we had pizza and cupcakes.
Oh my God, he's adorable.
Oh my goodness. And he's only 3 weeks old? Is it 3?
2.
Oh, 2.
It was 2 weeks today.
Oh
Okay.
My
Want to
gosh,
say hello?
He's like,
Want to say hello?
do I get paid for this? Because my talent manager, Isabel, is going to be mad.
Wow. Wow. Today's episode is sponsored by Huggies.
And Simulac. And please donate to.
Yeah, exactly. That is so awesome. That is so
nice
awesome.
to see you guys. Sorry to interrupt. This is such a great topic.
No,
you guys, I gotta share this on my
By all
page.
means.
We're so excited.
You got into
to
it
meet
perfect,
the
by the
baby.
way. Yeah, people love babies.
So who does he look like, Christina? You or Ryan?
Dad.
Well, people say, I mean, he looks like Izzy is a baby, but he's got my cleft chin, and I'm hoping he has my nose. I think he's got Ryan and Izzy's blue eyes, though.
Yeah.
That's gonna probably stick. Yeah.
That's
Here you
awesome.
go, buddy.
Like, yep, he takes after me. Thank you.
I know. Well, maybe as he gets older, we'll see.
Congratulations.
Are
Thank you.
you still a baby hog?
I am. So what Tina is referring to is the first couple of days. Hello. The first couple of days that he was home, I was feeding him, and Izzy told me that I was hogging the baby, but I wasn't letting her hold him enough.
She was like this.
She was pouting. She was
And
pouting
she's
a
like,
little.
"You're a baby hog. You're hogging him." She's like, "I'm feeding the baby."
Well, and I'll have Nona here next week, okay? And you can actually meet my mom in person next week, okay?
Right.
And she even said Nona and Grandpa. Nope, it's my baby.
No. I love it. Christina, by the way, I mean, obviously our audience, so many people were praying for you during
Thank you.
that whole thing. We're so happy that you're healthy.
Have you guys
He's
seen
healthy.
the hilarious
Thank you.
video that Ryan posted of Christina? And
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
so funny.
actually, I'll just say it. I didn't want to leave you out, Ryan. I'm glad that you're healthy as well. I mean,
He's well
the way you
fed.
were
He's
eating that
well fed.
sandwich, the way you were
He's like,
driving,
"Yeah,
and
babe.
eating that sandwich,
Go ahead,
what
babe.
do you think
Go
could
ahead.
happen?
He was like, I'm prepared for the hospital. I'm not going to be starving at the hospital.
Well, and
Yeah.
exactly, Starr, and he knows. And it
Yeah.
was 19 hours of labor with Izzy. It was 4 hours of labor. Like, so lucky I did not have that baby in the truck. Got to the hospital and had him within 30 minutes. And like, it took him, and to be fair, I'll tell you the real truth. It took me, because my contractions were so close together, it took him an hour to get me out the door to get in the truck, because I was scared to get in the truck. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And so he's like, I might as well make a sandwich, might as well make some food, bring some snacks, just so you know I got you covered. I'm like, what is he talking about right now? I cannot focus.
But like, all good intentions, but that's what happens to us husbands. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
I'm the
yeah,
same
yeah.
way. It's like, what do you need? Do we want to pack something? Do you want a snack? Do you want a bottle of water? Meanwhile, you're just like, get the
I'm like,
here,
why
right?
are you speaking to me right now? I cannot
I was
comprehend.
showing Tony, and he was cracking up so much. He's like, look at Christine. She's like, shut up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I couldn't, but it was so funny because I didn't know I had no idea he was filming, and people were like, it's staged. I'm like, no, I had no idea he was filming. Probably would have like maybe even been more polite, because I was like, I just can't concentrate.
He's
But
like, shut
he
up.
showed me the next day in the hospital, and I was crying. I was laughing so much
Yeah.
because that's my
That's
husband.
awesome,
He's
though.
just
The
cool as a
best
cucumber.
video ever. But the best thing was just his face. It's okay, babe.
That was a fast one, right? Like, that was a fast contraction. I'm like, it did not feel fast.
I love
Just
it.
breathe.
I
And you're
love
like, shut up.
So, Christina, although the baby's going to steal the show, that's
I
just
know.
that's the way it is.
Sorry, guys, but hopefully our ratings will go up.
Yeah, but
They would have gone up a lot more if you would have went active labor on the show, but whatever.
But
We
I
tried to
just wanted to
convince her.
add, right? I just wanted to add one thing, from your perspective, that how key has it been is through your experience of having involvement in digital marketing, having a presence online. It's always business, business, business. But isn't it such an important factor to show a little piece of your life and how that resonates with your audience?
It's everything. Like, we have these busy lives. We create this life, and the life of an entrepreneur is not the average life, right? Like, we do so much more than most. It's crazy, right? But we do it for this. We do it because we can be at home. We can enjoy every minute. We can work around, and
You
so,
don't have
yeah.
4 weeks before you have to go to work.
It really is. It's the ability to have some control, to be able to really just have the ability to shift and pivot and do all the things that are, spend time with things that are important. It's not an easy road. It's not an easy path whatsoever. So for people that are just kind of tuning in, thinking about starting your own business, it takes a lot of work, but you can learn, you can get there quicker by tapping into networks like this and really kind of putting yourself around the campfire of those that have already, like we've already been on this path, right? We can tell you the pros and cons. We can save you a little bit of time. And but it is. And I know so many people, unfortunately, it's been hard to build relationships and really understand someone's personal brand when I'm trying to tap into that, if they haven't, been able to share a little portion of their life. What are their hobbies? What are their interests?
That's what makes you relatable, right?
Absolutely, yes.
I've been posting a lot of postpartum stuff this last week. Because it is crazy, the hormones and the different.
This
emotions.
is night and day difference,
Yeah,
night
yeah,
and day difference to what I went through before. And I share that because people, like, that does affect your business. Depression does affect your business, how your mindset, everything, right?
Yes.
And not to be able to build a life around your kids. Like, I would sacrifice everything to be able to be at home with my kids. Izzy doesn't know our parents that are not at home for her when she's going to school or getting off school, you know, and he won't know that either. And I'm willing to risk it all. I'm willing to work really hard to make that happen. And you know what? Yeah, sometimes I'm breastfeeding and working at the same time on my phone. Yes, I am, right? But the fact that we can do that as women and decide what we want, this digital marketing is the perfect topic, because you can build something once and continue to sell it, continue to promote it, continue to do the right thing. And that's exactly what he's going to be pooping on me right now. That's kind of like business, isn't it? Just
there
like,
we go. On the Uncensored Entrepreneurs, real, raw, and unplugged.
This is where we're at.
Literally unplugged.
But you know, like, I think that so often we think about business and think about like entrepreneurship and working ourselves in the ground, but I planned a 4-hour work week, you know? And so like, I don't have to go back in 6 to 8 weeks like they do in the States, which by the way, I think is a crime. We get a year in Canada or 18 months in Canada with our babies. And like the family unit for me is the most important thing. The most, like, above business, above friends, above everything else, having family and being able to raise our kids in a world like this where they can contribute and be kind and thoughtful and problem solvers. You know, there's nothing like it.
What a perfect way to segue into what I think is probably our best way to close this out. And that is, and thank you, Christina, because that is so, it's so key. That's your why. Like, that's your why in motion. People are actually seeing why you've created this lifestyle. And so one of the things I did want to talk about, perfect segue, as I stated, that in digital marketing, to be able to grow this, grow a brand, grow a business, products and services, whatever may be online. I know that we have a lot of people here that are tuning in that have never done it. They're still working, I say 9 to 5, but really, you know, nowadays the demand is typically like 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., right, is what the typical work life is like. And so, you know, there's so many people looking to break out of that, to be able to have the ability to do what Christina's doing right now, right? The ability to do what we do with the
time freedom.
The time and freedom is huge, right?
Where you want, how you want to do it.
Yeah. And so one of the things I'll just open up and we can all kind of just dive in with it is the fact that I think a perfect place to start for those that are just brand new, trying to figure it out. Not to necessarily just quit your job and go all in. There is a point in life when you know, like, this is the time, right? I tell my clients, if you're trying to transition and you're still trying to figure things out and you still have your job, there's so many easy ways to bring something to market. And I think one of the best places to do that is to really just take a hard look at things that you're good at, things that you're interested in, and, you know, what you're passionate about, even what your career has been about all these years. And when you tap into that passion, that one little piece, then you have the ability to take that, put it in some type of content, whether it's a video, whether it's just an ebook. We talk about, you know, again, magazines and digital assets and other things of that nature. Taking that content, things that you know, things that you're good at, things that you're interested in. It doesn't even have to be work related, right? It can be, I love cooking, I love baking, right? Taking that knowledge, putting it in some type of a package, and then offering that to people online. And you can do that. I have one client right now that has a product that they offer for $1.99. Okay. When they first started out, they were so pumped up that they were averaging like $10 a week off of that product because they had a job. This was just something they were doing for fun. And that now has exploded and amplified, and it's led them to full-on conversations, one-on-one coaching, other products and services that they have. And they still run that same exact ebook for $1.99 because it now has been, created a digital asset. It's a funnel. But ladies, like, what do you have to say around that? It's interesting how that works, right?
There's two things that I wanted to tap in around mindset. One is the investing and also like consistency. So the first piece of this is that one of the reasons I decided to start selling MRR, when it first came out, I was like, I'm not touching that. I have my own courses. I'm an expert. But honestly, I have so many clients who are stuck in creation mode or they don't know what to do. And like, I'll watch them for a whole year, like just not launch the thing. Right. And I'm like, okay, bring this to market because it's just an MRR product that you can resell while you work on building out, just so that they can start like getting visible, learning how to create content, doing reels, doing stories, that sort of thing. So the first thing is like, like Robert said, pick the thing that you're going to invest in, whether it be network marketing, affiliate marketing, coaching, whatever you want to bring to market. The second thing is, understanding that these things are not scams, right? You get to choose what it is that you want to do. You can be on the sidelines thinking that, everything is a scam and just never doing the thing. Then we have a group of people who I call them book collectors, right? They buy the courses, but they don't implement anything.
Oh, yeah.
So
I know people.
They don't even take the course. They buy it and just sits there, and they don't even ever log in, right?
And by the way, educating yourself is important. So we're
Yes.
by no means, each and every one of us spend hundreds of thousands of dollars
we do.
in development, right?
Yeah.
But there are people that become kind of serial educators, right? They're just sitting there. They'll come to every event. They'll take notes like crazy. And that's a good thing, but they have the ability to take that knowledge now, take it from paper and take it from here and put it in some content that will change other people's lives rapidly. Yeah. And that's what you're talking about, Starr. So yeah.
Exactly.
And
Christina's really good at creating video content. We all create video content. And one thing I say is just like record a 30-second video clip. Yes. Download it and save it to your phone. Now you have a reel for Instagram, a reel for Facebook. You have a TikTok video. You have a story for Facebook, a story for Instagram. You've literally gone to 5 or 6 places.
Don't put no links.
With that one video, just to start, getting practice. And
don't put no links there though, because you might have everything taken down.
Yeah. But it really is that, right? Sometimes it's just a conversation starter that really will lead you to the biggest opportunity that you have. And in many cases, when we talk about advertising in the digital marketing world, it can be a free product. I think you stated that earlier, Starr, right? It can be a free product. It can be free content, continuously educating your audience and actually building and collecting kind of, those members into a group or a tribe or an email marketing list or something that allows you to kind of connect with those like-minded individuals.
I love this topic. I love it. When you were talking about Starr, I literally know somebody who for the last 4 years have been working on a course. And
for 4 years?
Yes. And I know people like that too.
And by all means, don't.
And I got to do that. I said, have you even tried to sell it? She's like, well, I'm not done with it yet.
Yeah.
But the market's evolved since then.
The biggest thing I have ever learned, I sat in the back of a room of a multi-million-dollar company as their MC, and they sold a $35,000 product in the front of the room. They sold 17 of them. I'm sitting next to the CEO, and she looks at me, she goes, well, shit, now I have to create all this stuff. And I went,
that's right. That's how it works.
Exactly.
None of this stuff done. She goes, no.
We're gonna save that for another episode, or maybe even a boot camp. Quite frankly,
I think that's a great idea, Robert.
Yeah, it really is.
Get out of the perfection mode, because perfect. Well, it will never be perfect.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't want to dismiss that. I think each one of us has our own element of being a perfectionist, right? In some way, many entrepreneurs are when it comes to a certain particular thing. And it is easy, right? It's easy to get hung up on that. It's like it's almost like designing the perfect home and never picking up a hammer, to even start framing it out. And it's exactly what happens. It happens with all of us in our expertise, our field. I always say, taking imperfect action is better than taking no action at all. And you'll really find that with imperfect action, there's growth that happens. You'll start to pivot even quicker. You'll be able to test, things out in the market. And also, I truly believe that, especially nowadays, perfection is what people turn away from. Yeah. And people being able to resonate with the imperfection is key, right? Like, I want my audience to know that there's certain things that I'm really good at and there's certain things that I suck at. And I tell them that right off the bat, but I'll introduce them to the proper steps and kind of filling those gaps. And that's important. So I say,
before we go too, and it's important to know too, that people are watching you. And if you are too good at what you do, they're going to think that they are never going to be.
They're not capable.
I wish let's do another episode on this though. Like, I think it's important that people understand that when you're creating a program or a course, you don't start knowing everything or what it's going to look like. You start because you need to learn, right? Like you start
Ooh,
because
yes.
I remember when I first did I'm going to be real transparent here. When I started the 6-figure profit plan, my first year, I charged $997. You lucky devils. Okay. And that I had to do that. You'll never do it again.
Was
You'll
that
never
997
Yes.
or $9.97?
997 for the year. But
Yeah.
you know what? You realize, okay, number one, I have way more value than that. That's what you realize in the process. You worked way too much to charge that. And then you learn in the process, well, what did people need? What were the questions they were asking?
Exactly.
How do I create?
Exactly.
And now people were like, well, what do I get out of your program? I'm like, tell me about your business,
You
because
get
I'm going to
all
cater my
of it.
program to your business.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to do one next week. Actually, Bob Berg is going to be our guest for next week. He's going to come in and talk to us. He is the author of, oh shoot, now I lost the author title. Go Giver? The Go Giver.
Go Giver. Yeah.
Excellent.
Make sure you join us. But the following week, we will kind of do a part 2 of the series, and kind of like a done is better than none. You know, so if you are creating a course, a digital product, or anything like that, just start and join us next week. And then the week after that, we will guide you through the rest of the way.
I love that. This is a great topic to expand on. So continue to follow, like, and share us across social media. We're really looking for, many people to kind of join us in the community. We're going to be giving a lot more than just podcasts in that community very soon. And so it's a good place.
Said she had the baby.
And we appreciate all the people that have tuned in this episode. And obviously, Christina, thank you so much
Isaac
for
and
popping in. And Isaac stole the show no matter what. Look at him. Look at him. He already has the posture. Like, I know it. He's a ladies' man.
He's like, hey, it's time to feed me now. Okay, Mom.
And I need a diaper change. So come on, let's go.
Yeah. So,
thank you guys for having me and letting me pop in. It's nice to see you. I missed you always.
Oh, as always, we
Glad to
miss
see
you
you
as well.
doing well, Christina.
Yeah.
We love
Thank
you.
you.
And we love you, baby Isaac. And happy birthday, Izzy.
Yes.
You'll be so happy.
Happy birthday, Isabella.
We'll see you all
Thank
next
you.
week, Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on another episode of The Uncensored Entrepreneurs. See ya.